Please video like and subscribe this channel. I never imagined that a single sentence, one spoken out of nervousness and pure panic, could decide my fate. But that is exactly what happened on the crystalline world of Thalira, home of the alien queens, warriors, diplomats, and rulers of one of the most powerful civilizations in the Orion sector. And me. I was just a low-ranking interpreter from Earth sent to accompany a diplomatic envoy. Or at least, that's all I thought I was. Everything changed the moment I opened my mouth in the Grand Throne Hall and said something that, in their culture, meant only one thing. A marriage oath. Beginning, the throne of starlight. The envoy shuttle descended through a sky painted lavender by the twin moons of Thalira. Cities of shimmering crystal spiraled upward like frozen lightning bolts. I watched them through the viewport, trying to calm the tight knot twisting in my stomach. This was my first interplanetary diplomatic mission. My first time leaving the solar system. My first time standing before royalty from another species. And my first time wishing desperately that I had stayed home. Relax, Nathan, Ambassador Ruiz told me, tapping my shoulder. You're only here because you speak Thalirian better than the translation AIS. You won't have to speak directly to the Queen. That sentence would age terribly within the hour. When we landed, a procession of armored warriors met us, tall, elegant beings with metallic blue skin and eyes like glowing silver. Their armor was etched with patterns that moved like liquid light. They bowed with perfect synchronicity. At their head stood a woman taller than all the others. Her crown was carved from luminous crystal that pulsed like a heartbeat. Queen Serelith. Her gaze could have sliced starship hulls. Her posture radiated power and calm confidence. Even from the shuttle door, I felt her presence like a gravitational pull. Proceed, she commanded. Her voice vibrated through the air, almost melodic, almost dangerous. Inside the throne hall, everything looked like it was carved from starlight. The floor shimmered, the walls hummed with energy, and thousands of spectators watched from glistening terraces. Ambassador Ruiz stepped forward. I stayed behind him, where I belonged. The Queen raised her hand. Interpreter, she said, eyes locking onto me. Wait. Me? I froze. You, she repeated. Step forward. Ambassador Ruiz whispered urgently, go. Don't offend her. I walked forward on trembling legs, feeling every eye in the hall burn into me. Then, disaster. As I stepped onto the glowing platform before her throne, I forgot the traditional greeting phrase I had practiced a dozen times. My mind blanked completely. So, stupidly, instinctively, I blurted out the first polite-sounding phrase I remembered in Thalirian. I stand before you with an open heart, offering my spirit. The hall went silent. Dead silent. Queen Serelith's expression shifted, her pupils dilating slightly, her lips parting in surprise. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. The warriors around her stiffened. Some even drew in sharp breaths through their teeth. Ambassador Ruiz's face went pale behind me. Later, I would learn why. Middle, the Queen claims her king. The Queen rose from her throne. Nathan of Earth, she said, her voice echoing through the chamber, do you understand the weight of what you have spoken? I swallowed hard. I meant it as a greeting, Your Majesty. Silence, she said, not cruelly, but with the authority of a planet behind her. She descended the steps, every movement deliberate, like a predator approaching. You have spoken the vow of joining, she said. An oath reserved for choosing a life partner. A mate. A future king. My knees nearly gave out. I swear, I didn't mean. She stepped close enough that I could feel the radiant warmth of her presence. But I accept, she said. A gasp rippled across the hall. I claim you as my chosen consort, she continued. My future king. Everything spun. I felt the blood drain from my face. I tried to speak, to protest, to explain. Her hand lifted to my cheek. Her skin was cool, almost electric. Our customs are binding, she whispered. Your words cannot be undone. I had ruined everything. Ambassador Ruiz stepped forward. Your Majesty, Earth did not intend. My decision, Serelith said, is not negotiable. She turned back to me. You will be escorted to the royal chambers. Our bonding ceremony preparations begin at dawn. She extended her hand. I didn't take it. My body felt frozen. A strange flicker crossed her expression, surprise, again, but this time with something softer beneath it. It is tradition, she said gently. You must walk beside me now. If I refused, I had no idea what would happen. Would it insult her? Break a sacred law? Trigger a diplomatic disaster? With every cell in my body screaming, I placed my hand in hers. Warmth. Strength. Electricity. The hall erupted in ceremonial chants. Queen Serelith led me out, my fate sealed by words I never meant. The chambers of the chosen. I expected to be imprisoned. Or interrogated. Or forcefully educated on royal traditions. Instead, her chambers were peaceful. Ethereal. Filled with drifting lights, living murals, and floating cushions that adjusted themselves to my shape. She dismissed the guards, then faced me. Sit. I sat. Serelith removed her crown, placing it on a pedestal where it floated, radiating pale blue light. You are afraid, she said. Very, I answered honestly. A faint smile tugged at her lips. Good. Only fools are fearless. I blinked. That was unexpectedly wise. She circled me, studying me with curiosity rather than menace. Why did you speak the vow of joining to me? I didn't know what it meant, I said, hands trembling. I swear. I was nervous. I panicked. You panicked, she repeated slowly. And your instinct was to offer your spirit. That's not on earth, it just means. I know, she interrupted gently. We studied your culture's greetings. I understand there was no intent of courtship. Hope flickered in my chest. So we can undo this? I asked. She looked away. Her expression darkened. The vow cannot be retracted, she said softly. Once spoken and accepted, it becomes part of the royal bond. My people will expect our union. I sank back. But, why did you accept it? You didn't have to. Her gaze softened. Because no one has ever offered me anything without fear or political agenda. Not even by accident. She sat across from me, folding her legs gracefully. Everyone who courts the queen wants power, protection, or prestige. But you, she tilted her head, studying me. You stumbled. You trembled. You spoke from instinct, not strategy. My cheeks burned. That's not flattering. It is honest. She leaned forward. And honesty is rare. A long silence settled between us. Finally she spoke again, voice quieter. Tell me truthfully, do you wish to deny me? I froze. Her voice wasn't commanding this time. It wasn't royal. It wasn't unyielding. It was vulnerable. And in that moment, I saw her not as the queen of a galactic empire, but as a woman who had been worshipped, feared, and obeyed her entire life, yet never chosen for herself. I don't want to hurt you, I said. A breath escaped her lips, relief, maybe. Then stay, she whispered. At least until the ceremony. It was the closest thing to a choice she could give me. And I nodded. Middle, politics, danger, and protection. The following days became a whirlwind. I learned about Thalirian customs. A spoken vow cannot be broken. Once accepted, it binds two lives. A consort becomes more than a spouse, they become a political anchor. And because I was human, untrained, and unprepared, half the royal council despised the idea. They called me unworthy, unfit, a threat to the bloodline. Some demanded my execution. Others wanted me exiled to avoid weakening the throne. Only Queen Serelith defended me. And not passively. She stood in the council hall with her head high, armor gleaming, eyes blazing. The vow is sacred, she declared. He is mine by ancient right. Touch him, and you defy the throne. Her voice could have cracked planets. The council protested, argued, strategized, but she held firm. That night, she visited my chambers not for romance, not for bonding, but simply to ensure I was safe. There are those who may try to harm you, she said. I will not allow it. You don't even know me, I whispered. She paused. Then help me know you, she said quietly. Tell me about Earth. So I did. I told her everything. About oceans, rain, forests, music, cities, laughter, fear, mistakes. She listened like every word was a rare treasure. And slowly, the distance between us began to dissolve. The attack. The attempt came on the 5th night. I was walking through the crystal gardens, trying to clear my head, when the shadows shifted unnaturally. 3 figures emerged, cloaked, masked, armed. Human, one snarled, "Your presence weakens the Empire." I stepped back. "I don't want trouble." They struck anyway. Fast. Silent. Coordinated. A stun blade slashed toward my side. But a burst of blue energy knocked the attacker backward. Queen Serelith landed between us, eyes blazing with fury. "You dare," she growled, "touch what is mine?" Her energy spear flickered to life, glowing like molten sapphire. The attackers lunged. She moved like a storm, precise, deadly, unstoppable. Within seconds, all 3 lay immobilized at her feet. She turned to me, breath sharp with adrenaline. "Were you harmed?" "No," I whispered, shaken. "You saved me." She approached slowly, almost reverently. "I will always protect what is bound to me," she said. For the first time. I wasn't afraid. I was grateful. And something inside me shifted. Ending, the vow reconsidered. On the morning of the bonding ceremony, the palace glowed with energy. Banners of living light streamed across the sky. Thousands gathered to witness the joining of queen and consort. I stood in ceremonial robes, waiting as tradition demanded. Queen Serelith approached regal, radiant, powerful. But her gaze was soft when it met mine. "Before the ceremony begins," she said quietly, "you must know something." She took my hands in hers. "If you wish to refuse the bond, I will protect you. Even against the council. Even against tradition." My heart thudded. "You'd break your own laws for me. For your freedom," she said. Yes. A queen willing to defy her empire for one human she barely knew. I had never seen courage like that. I swallowed hard. Serelith. Her name felt natural now. "You deserved someone who chooses you," I said. "Not because of duty, but because they want to." She lowered her eyes, almost bracing for refusal. I lifted her chin gently. "And I choose you." Her breath caught. "I thought you feared me," she whispered. "I did. At first. But now. I understand you. And you understand me. Maybe that's enough to begin with." Emotion shimmered in her silver eyes. She squeezed my hands. "Then let our bond be forged in truth," she said. The ceremony began. Light swirled around us, weaving in patterns older than star systems. The air hummed with energy as the bonding ritual activated. Serelith placed her palm against my chest. I placed mine against hers. A surge of warmth connected us, 2 souls tied by destiny, tradition, and unexpected trust. When the light faded, the hall erupted in thunderous applause. The queen leaned close, her forehead touching mine in the Thalirian gesture of unity. "You spoke the vow by accident," she whispered. "But you stayed by choice." I smiled. "And now, I'm yours by choice." She exhaled, relief and joy mingling beautifully. "Then together," she said, "we will rule." Final moments, a new destiny. As the ceremony ended, and the galaxy celebrated a union no one expected, she slipped her hand into mine. For the first time, it didn't feel forced. Or frightening. Or accidental. It felt right. "Welcome, my king," she whispered. And beneath the twin moons of Thalira, surrounded by starlight and destiny, I knew one thing with absolute certainty. A single misspoken sentence had rewritten my life. And I wouldn't take it back. Not anymore.